find out very soon.
All right, Young Shiping, Fnatic need this map desperately. And SK on the brink of making history and getting their first ever best-of-3 victory over their rivals. CT side, just the kit, and already the bomb has been placed down on B itself. Flush out comes through with the first kill. This retake is starting to look a little bit more promising. And JW spotted himself a couple of players, but quite difficult to get rid of. Phelps still in the water. He's putting down a lot of damage, but it's gonna be Fnatic. It's gonna be flawless. They don't lose a single player. That's what they were looking for.
Yeah, it doesn't get better than that. They do concede the bomb plant, sure, but they ensure what's most important. That means coming away with the round. Remember, it was SK who had 5-0 starts in both halves of Inferno. Flawless in the pistol and opening gun rounds. This time, Fnatic take a pistol away on that B retake, just really attacking well up through short on the flank. 3 kills for Dennis. Who other than Dennis on a pistol round to pop off multi-frags with the USP? We know how deadly he can be with those guns in his hand. Now SK, they're going to go ahead and force up right away. They don't concede like Fnatic did. Fnatic actually had the bomb plant and decided to wait to buy. Not SK, not on this map. Again, very quick control of short here from SK, but Flusha, he has that FAMAS out. He finds first blood on Phelps.
Oh, the UMP's gonna go straight back in, I think. Phelps and Ferv's both been caught with nades out there. Taco on the approach with his Tech 9 is able to put a bullet between the eyes of Crims. And now Olof in water. 2 players face him. Down he goes. It's looking shaky, but finally the balance tip in favor of Fnatic. And Fallen will be the final player to fall. 3 kills did come through though, but not a bomb plant. So I'm curious if SK even think about maybe going for another force here. I mean, they must know that Fnatic's economy is in pretty sketchy shape, but for the time being, it looks like it's going to be just a Tech 9, and that's it. Playing for the longer game.
Yeah, certainly. So Fnatic will get to reap the reward of taking a pistol in second round. They get an easy one this time around. They should pass through this no problem. They have full rifles out. JW getting aggressive here. Connector already taps down Phelps to 36. The nade might just finish him off almost. Takes him down a little bit more. As Fnatic are looking to control short B aggressively as CTs, and they are going to draw a blood again because of it. Remaining SK members are mostly focused out here in Connector. We do have Cold Zera still kind of keeping his eyes over here towards the playground. He will be joined by Fur, and they will try to start splitting up middle. Only to greet Dennis's M4, however.
Down goes the bomb. Horrible place for terrorists. Not that it really matters. They don't have the players to back it up or the weapons to utilize anyway. And another solid round. Very important for the CTs to pick up the round and keep all 5 players intact. They'll be coming through into SK's rifle. And indeed an AWP in the hands of Fallen, who is going to go for the glass cannon. No AWP for Fnatic, so that could be a difference maker.
Yeah, and Fallen is so mobile with the AWP on this map. He could be Connector, he could be B-side with Taco, he could be playing over towards A, which is a more traditional spot. This time, he will be taking it that direction, so it's just a straight default for SK. You'll see them open up 3-1-1 a lot. It's a typical default for overpass. Phelps, Connector, Taco, that aggressive lurk on B, the rest focused up. But look at Fnatic, they're playing deep down towards Fountain. They're looking to get in SK's face and disrupt them. This is what they do best in Olaf. He pulls one through, but it's an even trade thanks to Fur.
JW catches Phelps switching to a nade once again. Unfortunate. One of the reasons so many players can't stand playing against this guy, because sometimes it just seems to be so random. He's going to go in for 3 separate peaks. All of them going his way. Single-handedly crushing Connector. But Fallen alive in a clutch. Not far off on that shot either, which by itself would have been pretty special. Still, Fnatic 4-0. Great start on map 2.
Yeah, they're giving SK a taste of their own medicine, lined up for a 5-0 start to match SK's twice on Inferno. Again, it's JW here playing in the Connector, doing great work. Actually don't see him playing here a lot. He's been playing at B a lot more lately with Crims, but you've been seeing him actively engaging as kind of a rotator right now over towards the A side, so a bit of a change-up, so to speak, as it will be SK on Tech 9s and a couple of Deagles. 1 scout on Fall. We know how deadly he can be with that. Probably one of the best scouts in the world. either finding the headshot frags or lining up the assists for those pistol players, but he's not going to find anything out at long A this time around. Again, pretty default for SK, but Fallen is moving quickly up by himself long to try to get some peeks out over towards the bank area and the A-bomb site in general. Meanwhile, JW holding off connector once more, but more passively.
Passive seems to be the operative word for this round on both sides. Taco in the most advanced position just outside of short with his Tech 9. The rest of SK trying to see if they can get anything done here on the bathroom side. JW says, nope, you're not having it just yet. He has been tagged down to 20, so he has to be a little bit more careful here. A Cold Zero will silence Dennis. Put a bit of pressure on the shoulders of Fnatic, but it's still a 2-on-4, even with JW injured. He's now gone down, and this is where they need to hope that that Tech 9 doesn't rattle through another head. Olof on top with the P250. Cold Zero and a scout. Not going to happen. Fnatic 5-0 up. Looking commanding too.
Yeah, hot start now coming out from the Swedes this time around. Let's see if they can keep it going, as they'll have Olaf with the AWP now. He'll be able to patrol all across the map again. He's also quite dynamic where he likes to play, and I wouldn't be surprised if AWP comes out from JW, and there it is. So opposite ends of the map will be covered by snipers. Fallen, what does he want to do? Looks like they're just lining up default again. Taco putting that Molotov, so there's no way Fnatic can push short fast. Also keeps them worried about short B pressure. He come off his lurk early, but it doesn't matter because Dennis is getting aggressive in A, and he's able to get the pick on the Fur. This forward presence from Fnatic has been deadly for SK Gaming, and that was the big way they were doing so well against Gambit on Train, was playing aggressive, being confident, and it's working out so well for them right now.
I love Dennis with his fallback position there, with the overwatch from short, just sitting in deep. He doesn't go all the way back, and he's going to get himself 3. Narrowly missing out on the spray, slightly too far to the left from his perspective. But again, it's these individual efforts that are showing up, and that hop shot through the wall. Why not? Taco through short again, all by his lonesome though. Really just trying to see if he can get a couple kills to his name and shift this round away from Fnatic. Not gonna happen. Phelps and an AWP in connector. We're just outside of it now. Does have the bomb. That's really the only saving grace going his way. It would appear this is a re-energized Fnatic. They took that time between maps and they've managed to get themselves sorted out. Warp's going to be trading shots. JW up against Phelps. This is typically an encounter you expect JW to get the best of, and he actually spins around. The no-look scope. Why not?
It always happens, like when you get frustrated in op and you miss a close range shot, it's always just like jiggle around as rapidly as you can to avoid bullets and then snap back and he gets it. But again, it's just this aggression from Dennis, which is so impactful. They're really just picking apart SK's default. Again, that is SK's tried and true formula. Their foundation of having that slow, methodical default. They were the next team after Na'Vi to really master that with their core. And even through the roster changes, they've toyed around with straying away from it temporarily. What Phelps didn't work out so well for them. At Starlighter and Katowice, you saw them really shift back towards getting back to their roots whenever you saw them at Summit in Sydney and EPL and then leading into this tournament. But right now, it's kind of crumbling. Like, Taco's not really getting a lot of pressure on B. Fallen hasn't been able to get his op out to work on A. Like, nothing's really working because Fnatic are getting in their face and really disrupting it, which is kind of their specialty. And so I kind of wonder, like, what can SK do to start countering that, make their default work? You need that. Or you might see them shift into doing some faster B plays. I know they have a lot of fast B executes they like to run if things aren't working out default. And on a round like this where you have, you know, upgraded pistols and utility, this could be a time to run it. You do see a lot of connector presence here from SK, so it looks like they want to get short B and try to split up.
Well, simply put, something has to change. In 6 rounds, they only have 7 kills collectively. So Fnatic, even with double AWPs, they still have a couple of players around 10k. Always a great position to be in from a CT's perspective. No fast B plays as of yet. It's going to be charging up into the embracing arms, into the crosshair of JW. Who is the player with the second AWP, and he's going to put it to good use. 2 kills to his name, Fallen. P250, of course, no Kevlar. wants more money for his AWP fund, and he gets tapped down. So 7 rounds played, 7 kills for SK Gaming. Fnatic in cruise control.
There is just no response yet from SK Gaming right now, but at least they're back into a full bot. Now they have to contend with that double op again. Olaf and JW gonna be able to spread the map with those two things, make it hard to attack the quick lanes, and this is what SK are really probably thinking about in this timeout, how they want to treat this gun round. The default hasn't been working. Talked about how they have some crafty B executes up their sleeve. Looks like they're setting up for one now. They've been able to get short pretty quickly. They start to get that staging area going. As I say that, the bomb kind of starts swinging back over to connector though, so their options are still really open to them because Cold's still been parked here. But again, it's Dennis up close on Fountain that could be the thorn in their side and blow this whole thing up.
Ruthless aggression, and it's going to pay out in spades. Fallen's down, and I think he saw the bomb drop as well. So not just the AWP off the battlefield. Of course, they have a very capable coldzera that can pick that up and utilize it, but also vital information. Taco decapitating Crims opens up some options on the B side. Still 2 players here, though. Make that just the one. Taco is going to take down everybody all by himself, lone wolf style, and in doing so, now the bomb can start to transition across to the site. It wasn't tactics that got them this round. If indeed they do convert from here, it was all off Taco.
And 7-1 memes to Brazilians. Like, that's really all it is, right? Like, for some reason, that fate must still always be sealed. As again, though, Taco absolutely the one who put the team on his back in that round. Even after Dennis was able to get an aggressive peek again, Taco responds so well coming out monster on that aggressive lurk. JW, though, he's still messing around with this with the AWP, making you wonder just a bit, but Taco ends with the quad kill, and that's the first round on the board for SK.
Yeah, I mean, they have so much money that it's understandable why JW would go in for that. Able to get straight back in with double AWPs again, no issue whatsoever, and, well, there is the entering prowess, courtesy of Mr. Taco. Excellent work. But of course, they now have reset their round loss bonus. And again, it wasn't tactical play that got them the round. They can't rely on somebody to just step up and land 3 entries every round. They've got to start working and grafting these.
Yeah, and this is where they're just going for something heavy at B. They have plenty of smokes, molotovs, and flashes to isolate players inside the site. And again, just try to stray away from that default. It hasn't been working. The aggression at A has really thwarted them. And so making this adjustment could be just what they need. You noted it. It can't be individual efforts every time. They have to be able to work it out as a team, which is normally how they operate. And here comes the push monster, but Crims hold them off.
It's good 1 kill, able to also escape. He's low, but he has help with Flusher, and the flashbangs are just on point. There is no chance for SK to get avenging kills when they're constantly finding themselves blind. Molotov also keeping at bay. Another flash. Fnatic will have no more left, but now they can make up for it with sheer brute force. Fallen with 2, no more clutches for him for the time being. And the nightmare has become a reality. SK Gaming have 5k on Phelps, nearly 5k on coldzera, but the rest of them are a little bit low. This could be half by territory. Nope, they're going to go for the full. It's going to be 2 AKs and 3 Tech 9s. Or actually, 3 pistols. A Deagle instead of a Tech 9 in the hands of Taco. Not too much, though, in terms of firepower, but plenty of nades.
So Fnatic quick to reset SK, and again, Dennis looking to get aggressive. He's been so successful throughout this game. Will he continue to do so? He gets 1. That's a great trade for Fallen, limiting the hemorrhaging as best he can, and even collects an M4 out of it. So this is actually pretty good for SK. 4-on-4s typically favor Terrace because you get to manipulate rotates a lot, and he gets an extra gun on board. The thing is, rotates are so fast on this particular map that it's a bit harder to work that 4-on-4 advantage, but we'll see. As Fallen is starting to make his way over with Taco on the B side, the bomb will also drift that direction. They still have Phelps over in connector, his normal spot, so again, a B split seems to be on the horizon. They do have a fair amount of utility to back it up.
Although it's a great trade for SK in this encounter, maybe later on that could prove to be an issue. We'll discuss that in a second because the execute is coming to fruition. SK decide they want to push B right here, right now. And now it's Fnatic's turn to feel the sting in their eyes as the flashbangs are landing, but the spray is on point. Fallen gets a team kill amongst all of the chaos. It's a one-on-one, and JW's been in fine form today. You wouldn't write him off. Phelps, additionally, isn't entirely sure where he is. He's still checking water. Hasn't got the bomb planted. JW's just going to be waiting downstairs, knowing that time is on his side. Phelps going to pick up the bomb, go for the safe plant. JW knows it, going to move into position, going to try and land the shot as soon as Phelps comes off. And he's going to be able to hit it, but it's not an outright kill. Gets it on a second time of asking. And Fnatic pull it off. JW living up to that name.
Oh yeah, get in there. Oh, we didn't get to see it on camera. We did, though.
There was some serious teabagging going on.
Let's just say he was making romantic advances at his opponent in the server after winning that round. Let's just put it that way. Well, you can use your imagination. As it's kind of crazy, you just see SK load up on this side. Unfortunately, because they got bunched up, they got lined up, and a TK came out as well. So that really hurt them. It got them into a 1v1. JW wins it. And SK, they've just had nothing for overpass. Not on this T side, not yet. I feel like they've been bottlenecked into playing B because they just can't find the openings on this side. And they just haven't had a whole lot of success at B either. And now they have to work with, again, another very low buy. They're trying to put some extra emphasis on a connector here in this particular round. Flusha, though, looking to take a peek here from short. Sees the door open, throws some bullets down, takes damage himself, though. Yet Cold has been hit hard.
Point I was going to raise earlier about Dennis constantly pushing up mid, is it going to keep something in the back of SK's mind all the time? You're starting to see that they are limbering and stumbling their way over to mid much later in the rounds. And plus, it wouldn't surprise me if we start to see Fnatic actually push up long aggressively instead, as JW destroys Phelps.
Yeah, he saw him jump up, and so he had all the time in the world to actually line up the shot, so that kind of hurt Phelps that he got spotted so early in on jumping on the boost. Francois as a scout, he's still probing for something, but they're already down a man and they're running out of time as they work their way up. Fawn needs to hit a key shot.
He does hit it, but not really where he was hoping for. Of course, the scout, not a one-hit kill in the chest. Knocks him down to 29. Needs to be a headshot. JW, though, doesn't need a headshot, and especially in a weakened Coldzera. Oh, he wasn't far off either for that smoke bank. Will feel the force of the Tech 9. Olof still has enough bullets in the magazine. And he's going to whip out his USP. Lands a second and a third. Fnatic, they seemingly have woken up. You asked at the start of this map.
Yeah, they got the hollow message over here in DreamHack Summer. That is for sure. They've gotten off their keyboards. They've done what they're resting. And how they are well out in front overpass 10-1. This is very reminiscent of what happened in that Immortal series, right? Where they lost the first map, it was kind of, you know, iffy, and then they just roll out that monstrous Mirage game. They just absolutely dominate their opponent. And that's what they're doing here in Overpass SK Gaming. Like, the beast has been awoken. They're looking for that trophy, looking at least force a third map. Again, it is an aggressive push by Fnatic on A, and SK, they just got nothing for it. Dennis is just a menace on this side. And not the little boy, but the guy that's just wrecking SK.
Time and time again, he is getting kills, dropping out the bomb. Elsewhere, though, it should be mentioned that SK have got themselves a good position, but Coldzera, there's so much time left. Running with your knife out there. Far be it from me to tell a guy of his incredible talent how to play the game, but that seems like it may have been a slight mistake. Either way, 11-1, SK backs against the wall.
It's so crazy that a team that's so prided on how well they can work from default can't even get like the initial 3-1-1 established because A's just closed for business thanks to Dennis. He's not even the top fragger either. I mean, JW certainly had his licks in there, and I mean, really the frag distribution is just fine for Fnatic, and that was the case in the Immortals best of 3. Like, they were firing on all cylinders there, and that's what this team can be capable of with the lineup they've put together, bringing back those 5. Phelps, though, he gets an opening here. They haven't had a whole lot of these early 5-on-4s on SK, so let's see what they can do with it.
Ooh, that's unfortunate from Flusha's perspective. He did actually land the dink, but it was partially through the door, and the nade finished off while he started with Phelps with 2 kills. I mean, that's worth its weight in gold for SK right now. If they could bring it back to 11-4, this round, or this half, I should say, this map isn't done just yet. We know on CT sides they're able to reach a different level and lock it down. Crims spots himself another player, gonna get up close and personal onto Fur. May very well have seen, I think it was Taco at the back of the pillar as well. And at this stage, coldzera is trying to work his way through connector. Bomb planted. coldzera is gonna bide his time and wait. He may very well have actually heard maybe a footstep from Dennis. No, he hasn't, but now he's definitely gonna hear another gunshots rattling into his spine. Plays no further part of this round. Gonna hope that Taco and Fallen can carry the burden, share the weight of this clutch. Taco misses out all on Fallen. Tech-9 in hand, and Dennis once again lands the headshot. Fnatic with a 12th.
And the good times keep rolling for Fnatic. Up 12-1 right now. No one saw this coming. Not on Overpass of all maps. Not when you consider that offline Fnatic hasn't actually been that great on Overpass. Meanwhile, it's always been like a staple for the core of SK. Even if it's not as powerful as it used to be, it's still a good look for them, but not today. Not here at DreamHack Summer. They don't have a whole lot of time left either to gain ground. This is probably one of their last real full buys that they have to work with on this side. We see Taco trying to get in the short, but the boost is there. None other than Olaf. It falters, though. Taco again gets the entry, and again, he was the guy who won them the one round they have off of getting entries on B. So there's one of them. Can he keep it going? Will be the question that has to be answered here, as Fnatic still have Lutty to hold off SK.
Once again, you're seeing that they have no presence in mid. They're starting to make a move with coldzera and Fur, but it's getting into the round a little bit. Now, one of the reasons, of course, that this has been able to have such a huge amount of strength in mid is because JW's been in connector a number of times, and he's kept SK Gaming guessing there. I mean, that's one way to counter the Balloons push. Dennis now falls back into bathroom. It's still a very advanced position for a CT to be in. He's not quite able to get two, but Fur will go down.
This is the best situation SK has probably had all half to put around through. They have a 4-on-3. They have good control of mid. The only big thing they have to worry about is JW lurking with this AWP. He could get behind unless Cold picks it up. Cold is starting to angle out to look for it. JW catching a timing, though, because Phelps actually went through connector, so he might be able to get behind Cold. In the meantime, though, SK staging up for a B split. There's only one guy here, Crims, who's in a kind of vulnerable position, so this could really go either way, but it's looking pretty good for SK, actually, positionally.
Time, though. Once again, time is of the essence. If Crimson get kills, it could be what wins them the round. He's going to get one. And now Phelps has to stay in position because there's a Molotov right behind him. Still gets the spray on point. He will go down to Flusher, who's now got two more players to find, and Fallen's one of them. And will capitalize with the AWP. SK double their digits on this map, just to a measly 2, but they'll be eyeing up a third.
Yeah, it's just able to actually have a better exchange in the early round. I mean, so many times Dennis has gotten a pick or two and been able to fall back and give Fnatic early advantages. JW's done it in connector multiple times as well, but this time SK able to get a man advantage and keep it going all the way through. So that will give them their second round. Last round of the half in play now. Because again, we are going to see SK opening up default, but a little bit more emphasis on getting short B control with Fur there. There's going to be a push, though, from Fnatic, and there's Crim getting the open pick. Dennis this time finally handled aggressively at A, but still even here.
There's a double peek. Taco goes down. Yeah, one thing they've been doing a lot on Dennis is they've actually been flashing from short side. It's been JW who's been doing that a lot for him. There was no flash, it was a raw peek. This time SK Gaming were a step ahead. They read the script. Player advantage remains intact. As Flusher's going up connector. They haven't really done this so far. He's going to be in the thick of the action. He's Fallen about to get a shank between his shoulder blades. He's actually going to stand on top of Fallen, takes him down. You gotta love the style points. The bomb's been dropped out. He's going to be able to actually smoke off one of these sides, cordon off that area, which is now putting more pressure on SK to try and get information. And Flusher finds it with a headshot. Excellent timing on the connector. And coldzera has four players ahead of him, one of which is going to be JW's AWP. 13-2. Phenomenal half. Fnatic surely taking us to Mirage.
Surely. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better response out of the Swedes after getting crushed on Inferno. Their map pick. They take SK's map pick, and they shove it right in their face. I mean, the aggression was just relentless. I mean, it's really the biggest thing here is we see some shenanigans even being involved at different times. Flusha no stranger to giving you something to laugh at a little bit with some antics. But the point is just that the relentless aggression of Fnatic just couldn't be handled by SK. They just weren't informed. They weren't winning their duels. I mean, how many times does JW push Connector and get an opening pick and shut them down? How many times does Dennis push Fountain and make a big play? Short of one big individual effort by Taco at B, and like one round where they finally traded efficiently, there was nothing else there for SK Gaming on their T side. Now, granted, SK's always been prided on their CT side overpass. That was always their big bread and butter, particularly the way that Fallen could maneuver the op on the A side of the map, and thinking about some of the heavy hitters that they can have defending B, particularly a guy like coldzera, who does a lot of B defending now. So we'll see if they have any life left in them, or whether or not Fnatic will quickly force that third map. It's going to be a beauty of a third map as well, so I'd love to see it, actually.
Yeah, from a neutral's perspective, it definitely is an enticing prospect, that is for sure. And of course, as you mentioned, SK Gaming CT side is renowned for being solid on this map, but have they left themselves, I should say, enough room to make it work? coldzera, long range with his USP. But B has been pretty much taken. coldzera's going to get a second one, actually, to make this round a bit more interesting. And Off just simply runs out of bullets. Crimson's there to help him out, though. Now on Flusha. 3 players ahead of him, swarming the bomb. How is he not dead just yet? This player's running ahead of him. Runs out of bullets, runs out of health. SK, second pistol goes their way, and that's exactly what they were looking for. It's pretty much do or die at this stage.
And there's definitely no doubt about that. There isn't really any more margin for error anymore on the SK Gaming side if they want to try to still end this in 2. Luckily, they do have that safety net of having won the first map. It's really the pressure on Fnatic, but pressure's not too high considering how big of a lead they have. Yeah, they gave up the pistol, but they'll be just fine.
Full P250s, flashbang. Maybe suggesting an aggressive play, kind of flash their way into the eyes of SK Gaming. For the time being, it's going to be a little bit more slow pace. Thrown out into mid, it's going to give him a bit of control. Fur with a fadeaway nade does only 3 damage to Olof, and that's about it. Does buy him up enough time to reposition, set his feet in the ground, and start to rattle off with the MP9. Tailor-made for these positions. 3 kills go his way. Crim's able to get his hands on the MP9, but any kills from this point, a nice bonus. It won't be happening. Many more rounds required, though, for SK to even get close.
Certainly. Fur and the MP9, a match made in heaven. You see him using that thing all the time. Racks up some dodge with it in this round as well. Full buy, though, coming out of Fnatic here and now. Flusha a bit limited with just the Galil, but still a good bit out there. Op is already in the hands of Fallen, though, as well. As Fur was able to get the M4 utility, no problem after farming some of that cash with the MP9. It looks like Fnatic want to do something a bit aggressive towards B. Again, they've been so reliant on defaults throughout this tournament. You very rarely seen them go for some type of early aggression, really only in force buys. But here on a gun round, they're already storming the front over here at Monster, and they're finding the trades again. It's Dennis with the entries. They're looking to put this one away.
That's outrageous entering from Dennis, but you gotta ask Taco why he was waiting that long behind the pillar. Either way, Phelps doing what he can. But SK have hemorrhaged too many players. And when you consider they have an M4 and an AWP in play with Kevlar and a bit of nadage as well, they just need to get the hell out of there. They don't have time to start saving up.
Yeah, the reset's so harsh, which stinks because Fnatic are looking for a map point. You don't even really have enough to challenge it. Saving this AWP and M4 are vital. That's the most they'll have to work with. And you have to wonder if they're thinking about still just forcing off the back of these 2 guns, because otherwise you're saving and playing for OT, and that's a lot of ground you have to gain if you try to do that.
I would say yes. I think the other 3 players are about 3k before this round ends, so I think they'll have enough.
Some ups will come out, certainly.
Yeah, I think we'll have some M4s in play, maybe a FAMAS or a UMP in the mix as well. 3.7k to coldzera and Taco, 4.3 to Phelps. So yeah, it's going to be a force. It's going to include a UMP on Taco. and a FAMAS for coldzera. But it's a decent buy.
Yeah, it's decent. I was wondering if Cold might go for Ump himself and get a little bit more utility, but he decides to get the FAMAS. They still have the Op and Fawn. They have to save them for as well. Still able to get a decent amount going here, even a decent amount of utility in a couple of players. Fawn looking to be the aggressor this time on the A side with the AWP, trying to match Dennis's rifle. But he's getting so trapped right now between Connector, but he gets one kill at least. That's about the best he could hope for, given the positioning Fnatic had on him.
I mean, at least he got Dennis, who was the real pain in the ass from that same position, so maybe a bit of a moral victory. But that's all he's going to get, and that trade just simply not worthwhile.
As we do see Fnatic opening up defaults, so getting back to their roots, which is kind of funny when you say that about Fnatic, but that is how they are now. The difference you'll see is Crims actually lurks outside B these days. Used to be Flusha doing that a lot, but he's now more active and trying to play Connector and over towards the A side as the in-game leader. And they aren't an even 4-on-4 situation, so double long setup for SK, doing a bit of a bait setup, it looks like. Trying to set a trap over there, but that leaves mid exposed, and that's where JW is working his AWP. Actually throws the op away. In the meantime, Olaf picks off Phelps. Quick to trade his first, so now a 3-on-3.
Bomb dropped out just at the top side of Connector. Can be easily salvaged by Crims, who's going back right now. And just in the nick of time, 30 seconds left, coldzera piercing through onto Flusha, partially through the sandbags, is a welcome sign. As SK take the player advantage. Simply put, it has to be a B hit. There's not enough time to go A anymore. We've got to fully commit into this, and Taco's gone down. That could be such an important, integral, clutch moment in this round. That duel going away from SK Gaming. 5 seconds left. coldzera going to try and stop this plant. The flashes are firing into effect. How, again, do Fnatic get the entries with such little time remaining and take SK down a peg or two? They've now got to win the next 11 rounds to take us to overtime.
It's either that or we go on to that third map, which would be Mirage. I can almost taste how good that's going to be, or at least I sure hope so. We've seen two one-sided affairs, really, this one obviously being the most extreme. I'm hoping both will kind of settle in and we'll have a great slugfest in the third map, but we'll have to see if it's going to happen sooner rather than later, as we do see the aggression from SK, but Olaf there able to trade it out for just a moment before Phelps also pries in. So the advantage gained by SK Gaming in this round. Like you said, they'd have to march 11 rounds to force an OT. Certainly still hangs as a possibility. So we'll see how Fnatic want to recover in this 3-on-4. As they begin to gather up over towards the A side with the bomb.
A player behind, but no kits. Just 2 nades. Only the 1 assault rifle. Now, Fallen is god tier with the scout, so you definitely can't write him off. But speaking of the man, he is slap bang in the middle of A, joined alongside Phelps. So 2-2 formation. SK keeping the tag teams in play. Fnatic going to move it to trio. Now, for the time being, it looks like B is set in their sights.
Yeah, they have Molotovs to flush Taco out of barrels. It's like one of the most popular spots to Molotov on B. You can also use it in some other spots as well, but that's generally where you go. Smokes as well to block off graffiti vision is probably a thought. So we'll see if they can get out Monster and make something happen in the here and now.
Taco could be a real thorn in the side. He gets mollied out, as you highlighted. It's an important Molotov to throw in. Just get rid of one of those angles. coldzera's UMP is going to be up close. Maybe going to be able to stop the bomb plant or not. And Fallen is saved by the fact that Crims tanks the bullet from Flusha, which is a bit dodgy and actually ends up costing Crims his life, and now gives the gateway into this round with a double peak, and Fnatic. They lost the first map 16-8, but they come out swinging 16-4 victors against SK on Overpass. That is